Hello, my companion of the night. Have you ever wondered why the most painful memories often find their way back on rainy nights? Why silence from 30 years ago can still tighten your heart in the middle of a warm winter day? Tonight, I am not just bringing you a story, I am bringing you a sanctuary, a place where the whys and the if-onlys will be washed away by the silver rain of the quiet land of Ninh Binh. But before we meet Rosemary and listen to the whisper of the falling star vesper, I want you to undertake the most important journey, the journey back to yourself. Before we step through the gates of time together to reach the rainy night in Ninh Binh, if you feel that these moments of stillness are truly what your soul is searching for, please take a brief moment to connect with our common home. A subscribe, a like, or a gentle comment below not only helps the channel grow, but is also a way for us to join hands in spreading these seeds of peace to many other restless souls out there. But for now, let all worries fade away. Our journey officially begins. Right now, let your body be enveloped by the softness of your familiar bed. Imagine your bed is no longer a hard material object, but a drifting cloud, ready to support all the exhaustion you have carried for the past dozen hours. You have traveled a very long way to reach this moment, and now there is no place more important than where you are lying, and nothing more urgent than tending to your own sleep. Adjust your position until it feels most natural. If you feel the need to pull the blanket up a bit higher so the warmth embraces your shoulders, do so slowly, very slowly. Once you find yourself completely settled, gently close your eyes. Do not try to chase away the images of today. Let them pass like slow motion film, then gradually fade, giving way to a deep, cool, and safe darkness behind your eyelids. Our journey home begins with our own breath. You do not need to breathe according to any mechanical rhythm. Just let your breath find its own way. Inhale, feeling the cool air pass through your nostrils, filling your chest, and exhale, shedding every weight, every thought still lingering on your shoulders. Imagine each breath out is like a raindrop falling on parched earth, soaking in and soothing the tensions. Now, bring your attention down to your feet, the feet that have carried you through thousands of steps today. Feel your toes loosening one by one. They are gradually becoming heavy, sinking down. That sense of relaxation begins to spread to the soles of your feet, through your heels, and flows into your calves like warm sap. Your calves are no longer tense. They soften, sinking deep into the mattress below. Let that warm heaviness crawl slowly up to your knees and then to your thighs. Both of your legs right now are like two silent rivers, completely surrendered. offering no resistance to gravity. You feel yourself sinking safely and soothingly. Continuing, bring this stillness up to your hips and lower back. This is where we often accumulate the most fatigue after a long day of sitting or moving. Imagine a warm hand gently stroking your lower back, melting away every knot, every tension. Your breath has now become deeper, more rhythmic. Each time you exhale, your abdomen and chest become lighter, as if you are shedding a heavy coat after a long journey in the rain. Feel your shoulders. Let them drop naturally. Do not hold them anymore. Let your shoulders hang heavy like branches laden with fruit after a harvest season. The sensation of relaxation flows down both arms, through the elbows, the wrists, and settles at each fingertip. Your hands are now so empty, so relieved. They no longer need to grasp or control anything. They have completed their task for today. And finally, let this peace touch your face. Relax your jaw, letting your lips part slightly. Let your tongue rest naturally. Those tiny wrinkles around your eyes, across your forehead, let them smooth out like a lake without a single ripple at midnight. Even your scalp is easing, completely at rest. Your entire body is now a unified whole of stillness. You no longer see the boundary between yourself and the bed. You feel light as a silken thread, yet steady and secure as the Earth Mother. You are here, in this room, in this darkness, enveloped by an atmosphere of love and protection. You are ready, truly ready to enter the space of dreams, where the land of Ninh Binh is waiting with the steady rain under the eaves. But before we begin the story of Rosemary, I have a small message for your soul. If you wake up tomorrow morning feeling like a seedling freshly watered by a night rain, please come back here to share this peace by supporting the channel, liking, and spreading it to those who also long for a good night's sleep like you. But for now, set aside all intentions, all actions. This is time dedicated solely to you. Just keep breathing like that, slower, deeper, and listen to me tell you about the rainy night in Ninh Binh, about the scent of silt, and about a healing journey waiting for you ahead. Everything is okay now. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to let go. Your heart is opening gently like a white page in the rainy night, ready to receive the smallest miracles from the universe as your body has completely submerged into stillness. Let your mind begin a gentle voyage away from the brilliant city lights, away from the hurried honking of cars. We travel together to a land where time seems to have stopped. You find yourself standing before an old tiled house, nestled humbly by the Red River, which flows with red silt in the poetic land of Ninh Binh. Tonight, Ninh Binh welcomes you with a gentle rain. It is not the kind of torrential rain that causes anxiety, but silver droplets falling from the void, steady and patient. Take a deep breath. Can you smell that scent? It is the scent of purity, a hint of the pungent earth after the rain, mingling with the aroma of late ripening rice being harvested from distant fields, and the smell of water vapor from the breathing river. This scent is like a guiding medicine. Everywhere it goes, it soothes the soul, soaking into every cell, carrying the freshness of the ancient northern delta. Beneath your feet, the small earthen path leading into the house is as soft as a silk ribbon. Every step you take leaves no sound, only a sense of ease and buoyancy. Around you, the towering limestone mountains appear in the rainy night like silent guardians. The undulating peaks, emerging and disappearing under the grey clouds, create a misty scene like a freshly painted ink wash painting. The sound of rain tapping on a tiled roof. That sound is pleasant yet peaceful. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. It is like a meditative melody, repeating, leading you into a deeper state of relaxation. Beside the house, an old almond tree in the yard is rustling softly. Its large leaves catch the raindrops and then tilt to let the water fall, creating tick, tick sounds among the leaves. Looking a bit further, the Red River is whispering stories of 1,000 years. The rhythm of the river waves on a rainy night is strange. It is not noisy but contemplative, rising and then receding, rising and then receding, just like the rhythm of your lungs right now. You see yourself and nature becoming one. There is no longer a separation between the listener and the storytelling space. You are part of the Ninh Binh rainy night, a part of this vibrant stillness. Now, look at the wooden window of the house. A warm, faint yellow light spills out through the misty glass, where raindrops are racing down, creating transparent streaks. That light is not glaring, but soft, like moonlight, inviting you inside. It is the light of waiting, of protection. The house seems to be breathing too, a slow rhythm of memories and love. You feel the warmth radiating from it, a warmth that not only warms the skin, but also warms the coldest corners of the heart. In that room, we meet Rosemary. At this moment, she is no longer a 16-year-old woman with daily worries. In this space, she is just a soul, finding her way back to herself after years of being trapped in silence. You see her sitting by the worn ebony table, a thin sweater over her shoulders, her thin hands trembling as she holds an old quill. The rain outside and the light inside are creating a protective circle around her and around you too. You and Rosemary are sharing the same heartbeat, the same waiting, all worries about tomorrow, all pressures to accomplish something, all vanish before this rain. We do not need to think, do not need to analyze, just simply be here, observing the dancing streaks of light on the wall, hearing the wind whisper by the porch, and letting your mind drift into a state of suspension between the imaginary and the real. In the absolute stillness of the house by the Red River, Rosemary remains there, motionless as a statue carved from longing. The faint desk light casts shadows of her thin hands onto the ebony table, creating strange shapes that dance to the flickering rhythm of the fire of memory. The Ninh Binh rain outside remains steady, each drop falling on the tiles like a tick of the clock of time, a reminder of a past that is far away but has never truly left. Rosemary looks down at her journal. The lines she just wrote are still wet with ink, dark and aching like an unhealed wound. She thinks of Victor. 30 years have passed, but his face on that last rainy day still appears vividly through the mist of time. It was a rainy day much like tonight, and he stood under the eaves, looking at her with eyes full of hope and asking a question that could change both their lives. But at that moment, she chose silence, a silence as heavy as the limestone blocks outside, suffocating every explanation, every plea. She wonders if at that time she wasn't so afraid, if she were brave enough to say, "I need you," how would things be? Now, Victor is in a far-off place, belonging to another family, another life without her shadow, and she stays here with her own silence. The words on the paper are like knives cutting into her heart. Why did I choose silence? That question has echoed in her mind through thousands of sleepless nights, repeating like a broken melody. In the midst of the rising pain, filling the small room with an indescribable, suffocating air, a miracle happened. From the half-closed window, a thin streak of light, like a silken thread, suddenly glided through the rain. It was not as fast as a flash of lightning, but floated buoyantly among the silver raindrops, then landed softly in the middle of the open journal. A faint pop sound, so quiet that only the absolute silence of the late night could hear it. Rosemary started, the quill in her hand almost falling on the white page. Right over the painful lines, a tiny girl the size of a thumb appeared. She had hair made of shimmering silver, flowing down her shoulders like a small stream. The dress she wore was thin, woven from the first light of the early morning. Her eyes were large, round, deep blue, and clear, like 2 teardrops left on a lotus leaf after the rain. "I am Vespa," the girl said. Her voice was not a resounding sound, but like the whisper of the wind through the leaves, clear and gentle, perfectly merging with the pitter-patter of the rain outside. "I am a lost star. I heard your heart whispering a pain too great, so I fell down here." Rosemary held her breath. She reached out her trembling hands to touch the magical creature, but then she hesitated, fearing that the coarseness of reality would dissolve this beautiful illusion. She whispered, her voice hoarse with tears, Don't ruin my page. This is the only place I am allowed to be honest with myself. It is where I keep the remnants of him through this pain. Vesper looked at her, a look containing the infinite tolerance of the universe. The little girl stepped gently on the page, and strangely, wherever her feet passed, the ink began to fade. The words, regret, if only, mistake, all dissolved like smoke, like clouds swept away by the wind. Rosemary panicked. She tried to cover the words with her hands. No, don't erase them. Give them back to me. Without this pain, I have nothing left to remember him by, she cried. The hot tears of a 60-year-old woman fell onto the page, mingling with the silver light from Vesper. Outside, the Ninh Binh rain suddenly became heavier. The wind blew through the window, carrying the coldness of the river, making the desk light flicker as if about to die out. Vesper sat down in the middle of the now pure white page, hugging her tiny knees, looking straight into Rosemary's eyes. The sound of the rain seemed to quiet down, giving way to the little angel's words. Do you ever look back at the limestone mountains out there, Rosemary? They have stood there for millions of years, and during the scorching sun and the pouring rain, they do not hold onto the black clouds of yesterday. They let the rain wash everything away, so that tomorrow they can welcome a new sun. She paused for a moment, then continued with a voice as warm as a heater in the middle of winter. At that time, you were silent not because you didn't love. You were silent because you loved too much. You feared you weren't good enough. Feared you would be a burden. Feared your presence would stop him from reaching broader horizons. That silence was a sacrifice, the truest part of your heart at that moment. You were not wrong to choose to protect the one you love in the most painful way. Rosemary was stunned. Vesper's words were like a gentle current running down her spine, melting the rigid ice blocks in her heart for so long. He has had a peaceful life, Vesper added. He has completed his path. Only you are still imprisoning yourself in a prison with no locked door. If only as a ghost, Rosemary. It is not real. Only your current breath is real. Rosemary's tears still fell, but now they were no longer bitter. She looked at the white page. An extraordinary feeling of relief began to spread from her chest throughout her body. The sound of the rain outside the window now sounded like a consolation, like a mother's lullaby. Vesper stood up, stretching gracefully. The silver light around her began to brighten, but also became more ethereal, as if she were about to dissolve into the night. I have to go now. The sky is calling my name. But before I disappear, I want to leave you a gift. She raised her small hand into the air, gathering a bit of light from the desk lamp and a bit of essence from the rainwater outside. She placed them in the center of the white page. Slowly, those streaks of light appeared as 3 words, the handwriting soft, shimmering, and warm. You tried your best. Those 3 words did not disappear when Vesper dissolved into a small spark of light and flew through the window. They remained there, radiating a gentle halo. Rosemary touched those 3 words with her finger. She felt a warm current transfer from the paper to her flesh. She exhaled a long sigh, a sigh of relief she had suppressed for 30 years. Every burden, every self-reproach, every lingering pain, according to that breath, flew away, merging into the Ninh Binh rain, dissolving into the flowing red river. She slowly closed the journal. Tonight, that book was no longer a tomb of memories, but had become a witness to forgiveness. She stood up, walked to the window, and opened the 2 wooden shutters wide. The wind and rain rushed in, cool and pure. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply the scent of the earth mother, the scent of life rising in the night. She realized that no matter what the past was, this breath, this moment, still belonged to her. She had done the best she could, and that was enough. The sound of the rain still fell, but it was no longer a sound of weeping. It was the sound of cleansing, preparing for a new dawn in her soul. At this time, in a small room in Ninh Binh, the boundary between reality and dreams begins to blur. At the ink lines Vesper just soothed on the white page. Can you feel it? The relief is spreading from Rosemary's soul through the rain, through space and time, to gently touch your heart. The heaviness you carried from the beginning of the story, your own anxieties, your own secret regrets, is now also beginning to melt. Imagine those burdens are like thick black ink streaks on an old page, and now a rain of light from the universe is pouring down, gently cleansing, making those ink streaks fade, until only a pure and calm white remains. Rosemary stands by the window, the cold of the rainy night blowing against her face, but in her heart is a warm fire just rekindled. You too let this intersection happen naturally. You are no longer an observer, Rosemary. You are breathing the air after the rain with her. Each of your breaths now merges with the murmur of the red river, with the rustling of the almond leaves in the yard. Every thought about what should I do, where did I go wrong, is gradually disappearing. They are no longer important. In this intersecting space, only pure presence exists. You feel yourself dissolving into the gentle darkness of the room, dissolving into the cool vapor of Ninh Binh. Your body has no weight. You are like a leaf falling into the river, needing no effort to steer, just letting the current take you. Look, the distant limestone mountains are no longer hard stone blocks. They become soft, misty, as if woven from smoke and fog. The light from the 3 words you tried your best on the table still radiates a light halo, protecting the room and protecting your mind. That is the affirmation for all of us, that you have fought, you have loved, and you have done everything you could with the capital of love you had. Everything around begins to fade. The ebony table, the quill, Rosemary's thin sweater, all are gradually becoming transparent. You feel yourself floating in a silvery gray space of extreme silence. No more sounds of the past, no more echoes of the future. There is only absolute silence, a full and warm silence. You are gradually fading into the tolerance of the black night, fading into the steady rhythm of the last raindrops on the tiled roof. This intersection brings you a sense of safety never felt before. You know that you are allowed to forget, allowed to let go, and allowed to dissolve into sleep without any lingering attachment. Now, all images of the room, of Rosemary, and even Vesper's final sparks have completely dissolved into a soft silver mist. You no longer find yourself thinking. You are only a pure presence in the middle of the silent Ninh Binh night. Listen, the rain has now thinned, leaving only extremely faint tick-tocks on the leaves, like a final whisper wishing you good night. The sound of the Red River echoing from afar, contemplative and persistent, creates a smooth ribbon of sound enveloping your mind. You are sinking deeper, deeper still into a state of absolute rest. This feeling is extraordinary, as if you are lying in a field of ripe rice after a rain, where the Earth Mother radiates warmth and fragrance to soothe every cell in your body. Your breath has now become very light, like a thin smoke gliding on the flat river surface. Each breath is a journey deeper into the land of dreamless sleep, where pain cannot reach and time no longer has meaning. You are no longer Elias, no longer Rosemary, nor the one listening to this story. You are peace itself. You are the gentle night. Every knot in your heart has been untied. Every question has an answer in the silence of the universe. You are completely safe. You are protected by the arms of the night, cooled by the echoes of the pure rain. Let your consciousness fade away, like a waning moon dissolving into the dawn. Only a sweet emptiness remains, an infinite space of recovery when tomorrow's dawn gently touches your room. I hope you wake up with a heart as light as if it had just been cleansed by the night rain. If tonight's sleep has brought you restoration and peace of mind, do not forget to return here in the nights to come. Your support through sharing this video or leaving a small mark on the channel is exactly the motivation for me to continue accompanying you on future healing journeys. But that is the matter of tomorrow's light. For now, just let yourself dissolve into this absolute silence. Thank you for allowing me to accompany you home. Good night. Sleep deep. Tomorrow morning, when the first sunlight touches the window, you will wake up with a heart as light as if it had just been cleansed. But that is the matter of tomorrow's light. For now, just let yourself dissolve, fall, and sink deep. If this journey has helped you find a harbor for your soul, don't forget to come back here to us so that each of your subscriptions or comments will be a healing raindrop spreading peace to more people. But now, let go of everything. The rain has stopped, the river is still, and you have arrived home. Sleep deep, so deep, peace, stillness, profound. Good night, good night.